Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom Airsoft. It's good to see you again, and if it's your first time here, it is good to see you and I hope you're going to stick around. Okay, well, welcome to our weekend video. Those of you who follow the channel already will know that we normally upload a video midweek, normally on a Wednesday. That's normally gameplay and that kind of thing. And we will always upload a video every weekend, normally on a Saturday, and in those videos we look at all sorts of things airsoft, replicas, gear reviews, tech, and everything in between in our great sport and hobby, which is airsoft. So if that's your kind of thing, and you haven't subscribed already, do get subscribed to the channel, that way you won't miss any of my uploads. Okay, well with that out of the way, what are we going to look at today? Well, before we get into what we're looking at today, I do apologise if I sound a bit funny in this video, but I'm currently fighting off some sort of virus and not feeling 100%, so I do apologise about that in advance. Right, okay, well today we're going to look at a replica. It's a big one, so I can't fit it on camera very easily. It's the Lancer Tactical LT-20, or as you might recognise it better, it's a replica of a Barret M82A1 anti-material rifle, which is what they use for in military circumstances. And as those of you who might know anything about those, they're a 50 BMG in the firearm world, so they're quite large. There's a number of airsoft ones available, but as we normally look at the affordable side of things, we're going to look at this Lancer Tactical LT-20. Now here in the UK you can get one for around about 120 British pounds, and if you're over there in the United States and America, you can get one for about $109. So a little bit more affordable for you guys. So the one I'm looking at, I got here in the UK. I've had it for a while. I've used it in skirmishes. So we're not going to unbox it or anything. We're just going to have a quick chat about it and give you some of my thoughts on it and whether it's worth spending 120 British pounds if you're after a Barret 50 cal lookalike. So before we get into it, so you can see what it looks like, I'm going to do the usual quick tour around it on camera and try and fit it on. Then we'll go through some of the features of it, okay? Okie dokie, I'll come back to you. Okay guys, well, tried my best to show you around it there, but as you can probably tell, it's pretty big. It's difficult to get it to fit on camera. Apparently it is 1:1 scale, so it's quite a monstrous looking thing. I'm fitting it as good as I can on camera for you here, but I'm just sorry I can't get the whole thing to fit on there for you. Okay, so this is it. The first thing I will mention is you'll notice I've got this sat on a bipod. The bipod is available separately, but if you buy yourself one of these at the prices I've given you there, you won't get a bipod with it. You don't get a scope or anything with it. You just get the replica. You get a single magazine. Yeah, I think you also with the Lancer one get a patch, a packet of BBs, and a speed loader. And that's your lot for your money there. While we're mentioning about the Lancer, it might be worth noting that some of you may have seen that a company called Galaxy also do one of these M82 replicas. And to be completely honest with you, the Lancer Tactical is just a rebranded Galaxy. So whichever one you get, they're exactly the same thing. In the Galaxy, you won't get the patch for Lancer or anything like that. You just get the replica and the magazine. But they are exactly the same replica. In fact, this one by Lancer actually has Galaxy markings on the opposite side near the serial number that's on it. So they're made in the same factory, just this one is reissued by Lancer. Okay, so with regard to the magazine that you get with it, the magazine is huge. As you can probably tell, it's a 50 cal style magazine, but believe it or not, that magazine only holds 25 BBs. It's a low cap magazine, so even though it's a huge monstrous magazine, it holds 25 BBs. There is a little window on the back of the magazine here, if you can make that out on camera, with quite a generous storage compartment in there. I'll be honest with you, some of the adverts say you could use that for putting loose BBs in. Not really sure what the benefit of that would be if you're carrying a speed loader on you or anything like that. But, I mean, if you want somewhere to keep some items, then, you know, there is a storage space in there. Yeah, bit of a wasted space if you ask me. It could have had a higher capacity rather than being just 25 rounds. But I suppose if they want to try to keep it realistic, that's why they've gone with that. So the construction of the replica that you're paying the money for is predominantly polymer. Everything on this replica for the receiver sets is polymer. The outer barrel, which is fluted, that outer barrel is aluminium. The muzzle brake that you get on the standard Lancer LT-20, that will be plastic or polymer. I've replaced mine. You can get replacement muzzle brakes. Mine's now aluminium. I got that from the Snowwolf one. So there is an option to replace it, but the standard one you get is polymer. And if you get one in the States, it will be orange, the muzzle brake on there. Here in the UK, it'll have a black muzzle brake. The trigger is metal. Some of the internal components are metal. Everything else, apart from the takedown pins, are polymer. So everything's polymer, apart from your takedown pins, your trigger, and your aluminium outer barrel. But there is an advantage to that, because with a replica this size, if you're running around and you plan to use it in the field, this comes in at only about 3 kilos. So it's very light. So even though it's really big, it doesn't weigh a lot. However, having said that, when I've tried skirmishing it, it's still quite cumbersome just because of the sheer size of it. It's so long, it does make it hard to move around with. Taking down this replica is very easy. They've made it very simple. It is spring powered. It's not an AEG. It's very similar in construction internally to the A&K SVD. So a lot of the upgrades that are available for the A&K SVD will also fit in this. One issue you may have with this is it is hop adjustable, but the hop up adjustment, you access it via a grub screw on the top here. You have to take off this upper receiver to get to it, so it's quite fiddly to set your hop. I found that the hop up on this as standard is less than effective. Now I've been doing a bit of reading, and a lot of people have had success fitting the Airsoft Pro A&K SVD hop chamber. That'll give you a rotary hop chamber, and it also is much more effective hop up. However, it's not a straight swap. You do have to do some modifications to the LT-20, not a lot, some slight modifications to make that fit. Now that's not something I've tried yet, and I stress yet, that is something I'm going to be looking to do. So there is an option there. The piston in here is polymer. The spring is an AEG spring, so it's easy enough to increase the power on it if you want to. The inner barrel is an AEG inner barrel, so you've got a wealth of options for changing out the inner barrel. And the hop-up rubber, the bucking, is also an AEG style bucking as well. So there are lots of options for upgrades if you want to attempt to upgrade. I'm going to have an attempted upgrade in this one. It's been a project I've had in mind for a while to see if I can make it properly shootable on the airsoft field. Now that gets me on to how effective it is. Now some of these you get mixed results. I've actually got two of them. One of them is the Galaxy one. And when I've chronoed these, this one chronos around about 300 feet per second on a 0.25 gram BB, which, you know, is not ideal for long range shooting, especially because the hop upper standard is not the most effective hop I've ever come across. It might just be me, I might be unlucky. I've read accounts on forums and social media posts of people getting around about 460 FPS out of these. Now if they get 460 and their hop up's a bit more effective than mine, then you know you could be dealing with something that could shoot over long range. The Galaxy one I've got, that is a bit of an older one. That's only shooting about 260 FPS. So that there's options to upgrade, but out of the box, yeah, you don't really have any advantage with this over an AEG. It doesn't even have to be a high-end AEG. Any intermediate to beginner AEG will probably have similar range to this Lancer LT-20. So basically all this bulk size and bolt action doesn't really give you any advantage, which is the upshot of one of these. So if you're looking at it as a serious contender for gameplay, for sniping, I would possibly look elsewhere. However, if you're on the market for just wanting something that looks like a Barret M82A1 and you're not afraid to tinker and see if you can get it shooting a bit better, then it's ideal. Very affordable, as I say, 120 British pounds for something this size is not bad at all, and it certainly looks the part. But again, you're going to have the lack in performance. There are other options for Barret replicas out there, such as Snowwolf. They do an AEG version. A number of other companies do AEG and even gas versions. And those are much more costly than this one. So what I would say is the reason I got this is I primarily nowadays use this one as a wall hanger, because I just like the look of it. But I am looking to try and upgrade it, like I say, and make it more playable. And I'll keep you informed as to how that goes here. And also on Facebook and Instagram. If you look under Rock Bottom Airsoft, you'll find me on there as well. Now, there are upgrades that Lancer do for this. As I say, you can buy the bipod. A lot of these aftermarket parts are hard to get hold of. I've struggled a lot getting hold of them. But you can get the bipod. They do one in full metal. They do one in polymer. You can also get the carry handle to complete the look. And the last but most interesting part for me is they do a CO2 conversion kit, which I'm finding very interesting. I'd love to give that a go. But I cannot find stock of that CO2 kit here in the UK anywhere. There are suppliers in Europe that have it in stock, and I believe you can get it in the States. So if any of you guys have experience with one of these with the CO2 conversion kit in it, let me know how you got on, and then I'll see if I can carry on, keep trying to track one down. Well, back to the controls of this replica. And it's just a standard AR selector switch, if you can make that out on camera, but it's only got safe and fire, just like the real thing. If you're using one of these in the field, it is bolt action as a spring, so every time you rack the bolt back here, you'll load, and that's your one shot. It's not the easiest to rack back. It does make quite a satisfying noise. So that's you ready to go with one shot. And you do that every time you fire. So basically just like the A&K SVD Springer, and like any other bolt action sniper you might have, you're going to have to rack that bolt every time you fire. With regard to the hop up that we mentioned, like I say, it's not hard to take the replica down. You've just got to remove these rear pins here, and then that folds forward and this slides off with the front pin taken out. Once that's off, you can get at all the guts of the replica, and you can also get to your hop adjustment, which is done by an Allen key on the top here. You'd have to do that every time you want to do hop adjustment, so it's a bit of a faff. And like I say, it's well worth changing that hop up out if you're going to be looking to use it as a serious competitive replica for in the field. Me, tried it a couple of times, and like I say, I was let down a bit on the performance. I had a lot of deviation on shots, but that's something we can look to rectify. If you're going to get the Galaxy one, like I say, it is exactly the same, but you won't get the Lancer branding and you won't get the other bits. When you get the replica, it's going to come in two parts. The outer barrel is separate from the receiver set. It's really easy to fit. You just put the barrel in, twist it to lock, and then fasten the Allen key underneath, which will lock the outer in place. Makes it a lot easier for transport, guys, because this thing is so big. I haven't managed to find a replica case or bag that will hold it while it's all in one piece, so you have to take the barrel out to transport it anywhere. So like I said, there you go. There's really not much to tell about it. It's a very basic replica. There's not really a whole lot to it, just a bolt action single shot in a massive M82 style body shell. So if you've got an itch that you want to scratch for a large caliber looking airsoft replica, then this could do for you. As I say, it's light enough to run around the field. It's just not got the most effective range in the world. Or the best accuracy, if I'm being honest. If you were looking for something that you can use in game effectively that's M82 styled, then I probably would have gone for the AEG version and spend a little bit more money. But if, like me, if you're trying to keep it more affordable, then, you know, don't discount it if you are willing to maybe change the spring out, put a decent inner barrel in, maybe have a look at that hop-up system. I'm wondering if maybe the hot rubber might do it on its own, but as I say, that is something I'll keep you informed about. So 120 British pounds gets you a massive replica, certainly going to turn heads on the field. Just be aware of the limitations in its performance and you should be happy. You can get spare mags for it, is something I forgot to mention as well. You can get spare mags quite easily. The other parts, like I said, difficult to get hold of. Magazines, not so difficult to get hold of. So there you go. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of things like this, whether it's something you would bother with, whether it's just something you'd want in your collection because it's a 50 cal. I'll always respond to comments. I might not get back to you straight away, but I will always come back to you. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this quick look over a slightly unusual replica in Airsoft. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.